First one in, Josh. Christian, how are we? How's the beaches of Dubai? Right, I'm just going to get Chris in here. Bear with me. Good, I bet. I bet the weather out there is lovely.
Stan, what up, bro?
How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I think that was that's the quickest anyone has ever accepted the live request. So
I told you I
appreciate
took off
that,
today, man.
How are you?
I took off today, so I'm free.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
How's
man.
things, man? How's things?
Everything is good. Everything is good, man. I did all my honey to-do list for the wife. Got the kid taken care of, so I'm good, man.
And you got to tell the people watching now. You've actually taken a day off of work, right?
Well, I kind of had some personal days that I needed to utilize, so I just went ahead and said, "Let me go ahead and take care of this, man." And I didn't want to be trying to like take a break and then like jump back in. It's just too much going on. So yeah, man.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you taking the time out to have a chat. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
For sure, man. Definitely, dog.
So
Definitely.
give me a little breakdown of your history of your golf. So sort of how long you've been playing for, that sort of stuff.
Got it. I started playing golf back in 2005. Particularly one of my good buddies, he actually went to college. He went to college off a golf scholarship. And so he used to always, my homeboy Sean Edenfield, he used to always tell me like, yo, you need to get out here, man. It's a good game. You'll enjoy, you'll get hooked. And I was like, okay, whatever. You know, I always loved watching Tiger, but it didn't really resonate with me until I actually went out to the range and played with him. And, you know, all it takes is one good shot, right? All it takes is one straight shot down the fairway, one good putt, one good roll, and you hooked because you're chasing that feeling, you know? So that's kind of what really got me into it.
Nice, man. Nice. So since 2005, how often do you tend to play a week? Do you get a chance to play much?
Well, prior to, the pandemic, I was playing like 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that was pretty.
Sorry, man, I got you back now. It's just muted for a second. I can't quite get you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
my bad. Something was coming up on an app. I had to put it on Do Not Disturb. I got you. So, yeah, cool, I was in the middle of saying we were talking about the history of golf and how often I play. So basically, I was playing about 3 or 4 times a week. Now it's maybe like once every other week, kind of sort of with the family and the wife. Sometimes the wife's really friendly to me and she's like, "Hey, you can play this weekend." So I just get it in when I can, man. Really, I was going to try to sneak one in today, but logistically, it just didn't happen, man.
So you're out in Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, sir.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes,
it's a place I've always wanted to visit. I had a buddy of mine was out in college at. I think he might have been just outside Atlanta, but it's definitely been a place I've wanted to join. What's the sort of golfing sort of pandemic situation looking like over there at the moment?
I mean, dude, you can golf anywhere.
Right.
It's It's just, you got to take your own precautions and kind of be responsible. You wear your mask, social distance. At the nice clubs, not most of the munis, you got to share a cart. Just wear your mask when you share a cart. But at the nice clubs, each person gets a cart. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. And in your time, have you been over to the UK much?
I was telling you, I went over last year. We spent probably about 3 weeks there, roughly 3 weeks a month. Didn't get a chance to play out there because obviously it was hard for me to sneak away. It was my wife, my daughter, my mother-in-law. So it was kind of hard for me to just, hey, guys, I'm going to go play 18 or 9 real quick. But I tell you, man, we had plans to go this year. And, I was telling you, I was like, dude, I'm trying to get out there with you guys. We're supposed to go to Scotland, so that would have been epic. So I'm sure we'll revisit that trip sometime in the future, though.
Where have you tended to come when you come over here? Do you just sort of London or branch out a little bit?
Yeah, we did kind of like a land cruise. So we started in Paris. Then we went to Luxembourg, Amsterdam. My wife's gonna kill me because just off the top of my head, I can't name them like that. But we went to a lot of places, a lot of different places. So it was really cool, really good experience. I wish we would have known each other then. Then
well, yeah,
reason to golf, bro.
Yeah.
Dang, you know what I'm saying?
Well, hopefully, man, when travel opens back up again and I can go in your direction, you can come in my direction. We'll definitely have a game for sure.
For sure, man. For sure.
So, talk to me about starting your Instagram page, your YouTube channel, sort of reasonings behind it, inspiration behind it, that sort of thing.
Sweet, yeah, man. I've always been in the sneakers, Sam. So one of the craziest things is I used to always see. I have a couple buddies, Mike Rich. He has like his own YouTube channel. Just particularly like just regular sneakers, and other friends that do the same thing. And I thought it was cool, but I was just kind of like, the market kind of seemed saturated and everybody was doing it. So I was like, I want to kind of be genuine to my love for sneakers, but also genuine to, love for something else. And I was like, well, dang, I love golf. You know what I mean? So why not combine the two and do golf sneaker reviews? And so I figured that would really be, a good catalyst to kind of spark not necessarily a channel, but also just kind of a community and, a movement. So that was dope.
Yeah, man. It's certainly, I think I've been doing it now since like early 2018. And everyone's done the sneaker YouTube thing. Like it's been done forever and a day. And the guys who do it, guys who do it really well, they do a great job. And I watch a lot of sneaker YouTube, like a lot. And so, then you had everyone doing the golf thing, and there's everyone doing doing all the tips and the club reviews and all that sort of stuff. And certainly there's not a great deal of us who were sort of just like, right, I'm just going to do the shoes and the clothing and that sort of stuff. So it's wicked to have more people. I've got Golf Guy reviews coming on Monday, so it's cool to have like creating a bit of a community, as you say, for people getting into just focusing on the apparel and the shoes, because the gear is good enough now to do that, I think.
True. And I was going to say, man, between you and Golf Guy Reviews, I was kind of like, yo, we're going to be like the trifecta, man. Because, I love what both of you guys were doing. And I was like, that was kind of even more motivation, So definitely appreciate you guys kind of getting in the space and being those, trendsetters, man.
Yeah, I appreciate trends. I don't know about that. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
No doubt, man. So you are.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So next thing I wanted to talk to you about is obviously Jordan brand is a huge influence on your channel. Talk to me a little bit about your sort of, obviously Jordan for us over here in the UK is like, obviously we know he was just an incredible athlete and an incredible basketball player, but to the extent in which he impacted the sort of the sporting world in the US, it didn't really have that same effect on us. Or maybe that's just me talking. I'm sure there might be other people who might say differently, but in my opinion, like, he was never really massively on our radar because it's not a sport that, certainly for me growing up, was a sport that we played over here. Talk to me about your sort of early memories of Jordan and why sort of he's so important to basically sport in the US.
Oh, great. So question, Sam, are you an 80s baby? Were you born in the 80s?
I had 3 months of the 80s. So I was 89, late 89.
Okay, cool. So technically you still grew up in the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 90s were a great era, music, culture, and sports, right? Mm-hmm. MJ dominated the 90s, and me being a basketball fan, seeing that live and in person and making that connection between his performance and the shoes is really kind of what brought me into the Jordan world. I think, and it's kind of, I was talking to my wife about this, it's kind of like a disservice now because everybody's just like, oh, it's hype, man. It's Jordans. They're so cool. They're dope. Everybody's wearing them. It's kind of like a hype beast and kind of, complex with that. But I really got into the shoes because I know the historical aspect of each particular sneaker. You know what I mean? And I remember him playing vivid memories of him playing in the flu games, in the metallic fives with the white laces, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what kind of really drew me to the sneakers. He was like he was like a childhood hero between him and my dad. Like, he was like a childhood hero, like, especially in the States. Wow. So, like you said, I think that's why it kind of resonates a little bit here deeper, especially with guys around our age, because we grew up in that era watching him play and watching him dominate. So now to kind of see the sneakers have like this second life with retros and different colorways, and then bringing them into the golf world, it's just like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really enjoy about watching your videos, is because for me, it's like I know about the shoe. I know what a Jordan 5 is. I know majority of the colorways, and just through sort of the sneaker side of things, and the fact that it's now just becoming a golf shoe. But what I enjoy about your videos were the fact that you talk about the shoe, but then you talk about the history behind the shoe, and when the shoe was first worn, and go into a little bit more detail on the history of it, which I really enjoy about your videos.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
It helps me learn a little bit more about the Fire Red 5s, or something like the Wolf Greys, that sort of stuff. You find out a little bit more about, cool, they were a basketball shoe which were iconic, and now they're a golf shoe, but oh, by the way, here's the history behind it. So that's a cool thing about your videos, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Do you have any sort of early memories of watching Jordan in? Is there like a pair of shoes that you're like, man, that was it? I remember right then and there. I can remember where I was watching that game, what he was wearing.
Yeah, so that's interesting, man. The flu games were really a big deal for me. And it's funny because that's not my favorite silhouette. But I remember we were on a trip. I was with my parents, and we were in Hawaii. And I remember it was, I think it was game 5 of the finals when they played the Jazz. And they were actually at the Jazz, at their arena. And I begged my parents, I'm like, yo, whatever's going on, we need to leave here and go because I want to watch the game, right? And my dad was like, you could tell he's kind of irritated. He's like, really? Like, you're in Hawaii, we're on vacation. Why do you want to watch this game, right? So we get there, and I'm like, Dad, Michael Jordan is still playing. He's sick as a dog. Like, I think this is going to be something epic. By the end of the game, my dad is like, okay, I get it. I mean, he always knew Jordan, was the truth, but that moment is history. So that's really one of the moments that kind of stuck out in my head. Obviously, I'm a big Jordan 1s fan, but I was not really old enough to remember any of his games playing in those. But yeah, man, the flu game 12s were major for me.
That's really cool. Like for me, The Last Dance did me a massive favor in informing me and educating me on the shoes that he wore and what his career was like. And if you said before watching that documentary, if you said to me how many NBA titles has Michael Jordan won, I'd have been, I don't really know. I like class myself as like a sports head. Like I feel like I have a decent knowledge on most sport, and for me not to know. So the Last Dance documentary was awesome, and so and that's sort of what's got me a little bit more into the Jordan's sort of golf shoe side of things as well, because obviously it's just helping us learn a little bit about it.
Facts
for sure. So what is your I know you said that the flu games were not your favorite shoe of all time. What would be your favorite Jordan shoe of all time? You got them right here.
Got them right here. So I think I posted these on my story a while back. And these are actually, I've got so there were 2 versions that came out. There was a version that came out in 2015, and there was a version that came out in 2017. I have the 2017s. I can't find my 2015s. But the bread one, like this is my coveted shoe. Like,
yeah.
And it's funny, I've had people try to buy them from me. And I have other ones that in resale value are more, but these are special to me because I remember going to the store and buying them. One of my buddies was a manager at Foot Locker. And I told him, I was like, dude, I told him the morning or the night before, I was like, man, I got your breakfast lined up. You know what I mean? I got your lunch lined up. Hold these shoes for me, man. I need you to do me a solid. And I remember him hitting me up that morning and being like, yo, get here at the store by 8 a.m. You're going to be the first person. I'm going to give them to you. Boom. And so that in and of itself kind of helped with the memory. But I've just always liked the colorway. It's just, to me, Jordan 1s are going to start to slowly become the Chuck Taylor of kind of just fashion, because you can dress them down, you can dress them up. Just a real clean, simple pair that you can do pretty much anything with. But that color blocking is just sick to me, man.
It's definitely. I mean, I sort of only really got into sneakers hugely in sort of the boost wave of sort of like 2016, 17, and really got into it off the back of Boost. So those releases, those Jordan releases, I was never really in. I was looking for the next Ultra Boost or the next NMD to come out or whatever. It was never the Jordan, and that's still the same for me as being over here in the UK.
Right.
Still, Jordans, like, you still don't see a great deal of Jordans, like, especially like 1s and then more of like year 4s and stuff. You don't see a great deal being worn.
Right.
Like every now and then, it's more, Air Maxes and that sort of stuff is more what we have up here. But it's definitely starting to change. I have to show you very quickly because I actually have these next to me. This was not planned. But,
okay. You about to flex on me, bro?
I managed to pick up my pair. These things are...
aren't they beautiful?
They smell so good as well. They smell so... I don't know. It's going to take a lot for me to break them out. I have to get... Obviously, if I do, I've got to get those white laces in there, man, because you educate me on that stuff as well.
So here's the rule. You making me want to go grab my pair. But you know we've already had this conversation.
I know, yeah.
White toe box, white laces. That's the rule. White toe box, white laces.
So obviously, if you then got like a black toe box or something like that, then but you don't get the black laces, do you go out and buy the black laces?
Great question.
I'm trying to think. No, so that's it. I watched Seth Fowler's video on the new UNC ones that are coming out in a couple of weeks or months or whenever, sometime soon.
I think they come out in March. Yeah, March.
You get black laces and then you get UNC laces, but you don't get white laces. I'm like, white laces would look really good in that shit.
Like, that's like a no-brainer. And that's, pardon my language, but that's the BS that like Nike does sometimes. I'm like, it's common sense, man. Like, you see the shoe, you see promo pics of people on Instagram and Facebook posting a picture of the shoe with the white laces. You see the reaction of people. Yeah. It's quality, man. It looks good. Like, why not throw that in there? But luckily, I have enough ones to where I have ones that have came with a bunch of alternate laces, so I can kind of just, configure them and swap them out. But yeah,
definitely, man. Well, we'll have to have a sneaker. I'm not going to say a showdown of any description, but I'd love to see your collection in a little. Maybe bring it to the channel. Maybe bring it to the channel.
That's something planned in the distant future, man. So currently there's a war in my house on space. So my shoes take up probably about 85% of the closet, right?
Wow.
Right. And my wife she's a bag woman, so she has a bunch of nice bags. But my shoes take up a good portion of the closet. So right now, until we get the space that we really want to be able to house those, because I want to make sure when I display them, I have a really good idea for a sneaker room. So when I display them, I want to make sure, it's like, noteworthy. It's video worthy. I don't want to just be out here showing boxes like, look what I got, So when the time comes, man, we'll definitely do that. And, even if I don't do anything but pull some pairs out, we just kind of talk. I'm all about that, man.
Yeah, man, that sounds good to me. So let's transition it back to the golfing side of things.
For sure.
If there's a Jordan shoe that has been released now that hasn't been either sort of soul swapped or whatever, what shoe do you think would work really well as a golf shoe? Is there a Jordan shoe that's not been made into a golf shoe yet that you're thinking, man, if that came out, that would be unreal?
So I was talking about this with my boy Hack Like Golf. Hack Like Golf. Let me slow down. And there's so many different silhouettes, but compartmentally and from just a functionality standpoint, I think the Jordan 2 Low would be really cool.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Jordan 2 Low?
Not hugely. So for me, it's 1s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 11s are the ones that I'm like most
Okay.
I know most about. Which is probably, there might be people watching this go like, who's this guy?
No. I mean, it's cool. I appreciate the honesty, and I mean, I think realistically, like, it's a lot of golf sneakerheads out there, but then again, it's a lot of people that are super fashionable like you, especially from overseas, that have the fashionable knowledge. And to be honest, the trainers and the fly knit trainers and the Boost, like that era when you spoke of that earlier, I was just like smiling because I was like, yo, that was such a good era because Adidas was killing us with the Boost. I mean, we had the triple blacks, we had the 1.0s, that first 1.0 colorway with the purple panel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sick. So not to switch lanes, but yeah, the Jordan 2 would be really good. I also like the Jordan 12.
Okay.
The 12, matter of fact, the 12 flu game would be really cool. I was going to do that on a Make 'em Golf soon.
I was going to talk to you about that series coming up. That's
oh yeah.
We'll talk on that in a second. But yeah, you say the 2s and 12s.
Yeah, so the 2s and the 12s. I think the only reason I didn't mention the 12s first is because I think @Govern did do a soul swap on them.
Right, okay.
I can't remember that specifically, but I feel like I saw it. But yeah, man, the 2s would be really cool to see.
So 2020 last year was, I think, for a lot of us, a massive year for shoe releases, golf shoe. Well, obviously transitioning back to golf, like golf shoe releases, apparel releases. A lot of really cool stuff came out last year. What was sort of a favorite pickup for you from last year?
Wow, like you said, it was a lot. And I mean, when I say this, I'm gonna say this in terms of not just looks, but comfort. Because I don't know if you saw the poll that I did on my story a while back, but I've asked people would they prefer look or performance.
Right. Okay. I'm sure I did. I pretty much.
What'd you vote? What'd you vote?
For me, if I'm like looks or performance, this is going to sound horrendous, but I'm more what it looks like because, for me, growing up, a FootJoy Icon is still my favorite shoe. And that shoe is not the most comfortable. It doesn't have the most technology in it. It's the aesthetic of like the classic looking golf shoe. And I'll wear them for 18 holes and I'll come off and my feet are in pieces and they hurt. And I've got rubbing on my toes and all that sort of stuff. But I'm still like, I just feel like I look awesome in them all day, which for me is what it's all about. But yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, man, when I did that poll, that really forced me to realize, like, I mean, I already kind of know, like, I was basically validating what I feel and you feel. Like, I feel like looks are super important, especially when you're talking to guys that, I mean, you're probably a lot better than the average golfer just because you're a PGA professional. So your level of golf is a little,
It's been a long time since I played, man. It's been a long time since I played.
It's muscle memory, man. You're good. So, but I say that to say that a lot of us aren't good enough to really, validate the performance piece as being like a super realistic, subject. But yeah, man, we were talking about that. I just brought that up to say that overall, I think I really was impressed with the Nike Air Max 270. Really was impressed. I mean, a lot of people complained about them being kind of tight, but once you kind of wore them and, got 18 holes in them to kind of widen out and conform to your feet. But the Fearless Together pack was absolutely so good.
See, that pack, like, really annoyed me. Like, annoyed me massively because it's awesome and the colorways are great. I love the lime. I love the accents around the heel. I love all of that. It released, like, 3 days after the Rather Lucky Than Good, and
it was terrible.
And for me, like I'd already got the Rather Lucky Be Good because, like, obviously I'm a huge sneaker head now, and so the resemblance of the Sean Witherspoon were like I couldn't not get that shoe. So, and then they bring the Fearless out, and I really like the Infinity Tour of that release as well, and I love the Air Max 270 of that release. So I'm like, I can't go and drop £300 here in the UK, which I'm not sure what the USD equivalent would have been, but I can't go and drop that on two pairs of shoes in 2 weeks. It's like until Nike start blessing me.
Hey, hold on. Let me say this: if anybody from Nike Golf is watching, Yo, Sam is an icon in the industry, along with myself. Hook us up, man. Send a pack, man.
Start sending some bits. We want some special editions. We want some unreleased stuff. Like start sending some stuff over. But yeah, I can't afford to drop that money. And the fact that they released so close together was just a nightmare. And the fact that it wasn't that far after that then the Vice shoe released as well. And I was like, well, I've got to get that now, don't I?
Yeah. Did you keep it? You tell me you kept that Vice shoe, man.
Yeah, they're just down there. They're actually in a box down there. I've still got that. I can't. The resale price was looking really good, and I was like, oh, but yeah. I kept on. I think that's going to be a cool shoe to have in a few years' time, definitely. So, the next thing I was going to ask you, what have I got written down here? So, you picked up some Adidas bits, man. So obviously, Adidas or Adidas, however we want to say it.
I like how you say it. Actually, I just can't say it like that.
So you got some Adidas bits through. Well, what do you think?
Oh man. So it was a couple of pieces from the EQT line. Matter of fact, shout out to Adidas marketing, Matt over Adidas. Good people, man. Sent me the EQT pack. It came with the polo, zip up polo. I was about to wear one today, but I was like, Sam's usually like in a t-shirt. I don't want to be trying to.
Yeah, I just got some essentials on today, man.
Right.
Just a standard.
You saved the good stuff for the episode. See, I already know. But no, they sent me a nice hoodie, some nice pants. I just got another. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm gonna sound real ignorant on this, but it's Anaorak. It's like a hoodie.
Anorak.
Anorak. There you go. They sent me one of those, and it had the 3-stripe on the side. Oh man, I should just have it, right? It's upstairs, but yeah, man, just really clean pieces, man. And I'm one of those guys. The older I get, and I feel like you're the same way. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't really like anything too crazy. Mm-hmm. I do like to have a little flavor and a little jazz and a little bit of flair in it, but I really like the fact that if everything was kind of undertone, but still had just enough pop for people to be like, oh yeah, that's clean. And so they sent me that, and then they sent me the 360, the Tour 360, the white, blue, and neon, which I was going to ask you on that. I was going to ask you your thoughts on, because I've not had that shoe in hand. I might have had it in hand, but I've never owned it. I've never put it on. Very good shoe. The Prime Knit. I played 18 in them Saturday. The Prime Knit on that shoe is just sick. And it can form to your feet really good traction. And it's a spikeless shoe. Yeah. So, I kind of found myself that Sunday. I think we went to the store or something, and I was wearing them, and I'm like, yo, these are like golf shoes. But they're just that comfortable and that functional. So I was really impressed with that pair. I got a review coming up on them. It'll probably come sometime next week. And they also sent the Superstars, which I know you had for us. Yeah, man, they're nice. And really, how do you like the comfort? I tried them on to make sure they fit, but I haven't had a chance to really wear them yet. I played 18 in them. I've played I've played maybe a couple of 18s, and really good actually. I was actually very, very much surprised. I thought, special edition, great. Like it just looks like they've put some cleats on the underside of a Superstar. Like it's not going to be, but actually it performed very nicely. It's because the sole is quite firm. Mm-hmm. It's quite a nice stable base you don't have a great deal of cushioning underneath, but it's a stable enough base. So actually as a golf shoe, it works pretty good. If you're looking for all out underfoot comfort, probably not going to be the best shoe compared to like a Boost. Probably not going to be the best shoe that you'd own, but as a golf shoe and a cool looking shoe, I think they work really well. Okay. Yeah, that's dope, man. I plan on, if I'm able to play this weekend, I'm going to wear them. If I'm not able to play them this week, I'll play them in them next week and see. But yeah, thank you for that, man. No worries, man. So talk to me about your recent Instagram posts that you've put up today. You're wearing a pair of shoes that all of us are kind of a little bit like, how does he have these? And then B, talk to me a little bit about the photo shoot. I know you kind of mentioned it to me in some messages a little while back, but talk to me about how that sort of come about. So the photo shoot was something I've been wanting to do for a while. I feel like, you know how when everything is just working against something in your schedule and you just can't make it happen? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what had been going on with the photo shoot. But the stars aligned, and we were able to get it in. But the shoes in particular, I can't really speak a bunch of detail on.
Yeah.
But I called in a favor to one of my guys out here in Atlanta that has some connections, and he was able to get me a pair. And he pretty much told me, "Hey, bro, you cannot show the full shoe. People can see a portion of it, but they can't see the full shoe." And I took the spikes off it's just like the 5s. You can take the spikes off. So I took the spikes off just so I could walk around in them and not damage them. But I like the shoe. The comfort is really good. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know how people with wider feet will like them.
Right.
Because I know it's got like the little lace bits on the side, on 2 on each side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I enjoyed them. I didn't play in them. I played in the Adidas. It was kind of just for the shoot because I wasn't, like I said, I bent the rules a little bit. But I think people are really going to like them, and it's going to be a really good game changer for the golf world. I don't know if should I drop this right? Well, go ahead. I'll let you ask.
You can say whatever you want, man. You can say whatever you want. Don't let me hold you back. Just feel empowered right now, and just go ahead and say it.
No, man. I was gonna say I know you probably watched the Jordan Brand Part 2 first look for 2021, and I alluded to or I mentioned Travis Scott, doing a collab on the Jordan 4s, right? So military green. I mean, pretty much going to look like, remember the 6s, the color from the Travis Scott 6s?
Yeah.
It's going to be like that kind of color.
And that's coming, is it?
Yes, that's coming. I don't know what day or what month, but it's coming. So just be prepared. It's going to change some things, man. That
sounds really, really cool. Like for me, being I'm big into that sort of the complex world, the hype beast kind of world, and to see like the likes of Travis playing some golf, the likes of Tiger playing some golf, and those guys. I think it's so cool to have the sort of. I mean, Travis is like one of the most influential guys in the world at the moment when it comes to style and fashion and that sort of stuff, and to have him dabble in the golf space a little bit is really, really cool. Really cool.
Right. And that's the thing, man. Like this is so necessary, right? Everybody's always preaching grow the game, et cetera, et cetera. But my thing is, if you get an iconic figure like Travis, who has picked up the sport, you put him in position, you bring out a shoe. So now all Travis Scott fans are going to be like, let me go check out golf, Let me see what it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so I love it, man. I think it was a very, we haven't been the biggest fans of Nike when it comes to like marketing, but I think they nailed that. That was a good call. And I would love to see them do something with Tiger as well. There might be something in the mix. I know he's been flexing a lot of the older Jordan golf releases. So it'd be really cool to see them kind of do something with him as well.
So your make it for golf.
Make them golf. Yep.
Make them golf. Your Instagram stuff. How did that come about? And like the images are really, really cool, man. What sort of editing stuff do you use on those? Because it looks really, really good.
Appreciate it, man. So one of my buddies, I was telling him, I was like, dude, I need Photoshop because I have all these things, throughout the day, between working and stuff. I have all these thoughts and things come to my head. And I'm like, yo, I need to either write this down and like, put something together real fast.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I'll give you Photoshop. He works in IT for the company. And I was like, all right, sweet. So sent it over to me, unzipped it, started playing with it a little, watched some tutorials, and kind of just learned how to do it. And the Make 'em Golf was, the sneakers, the template got 'em.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought got 'em was like super cool, and it made you feel like really good about like getting a pair of shoes, right? You rarely see it.
I've had that like once, man.
That's the thing. You rarely see it, but when you do, it's usually on a coveted release. I was talking to Soul, the page Soul in One.
Mm-hmm.
So he was flexing on us this morning with the pair of the dunks that came out. The Sriracha dunks. They had like the Yeah. He was flexing those, and I was like, dude, tell me you're gonna keep those. He's like, yeah, man. It's very seldom you hit on sneakers, and I'm like, yeah, man, you need to keep those. But that's where the inspiration kind of came from. I like that font, that Nike font.
Yeah.
And so I said, dang, I started doing the Make 'em Golf early before that. And then I said, well, what if I use like that template and just kind of like put the Make 'em Golf to it, And I said, I think that would be, it'd be kind of cool and kind of catchy. So I am working on some episodes that will be weekly. One of the shoes that I featured in Make 'em Golf, I have like more specific information about how they could tool it. Basically giving companies like, hey, this is how you can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make it happen. Y'all pay me for it. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, man, for sure.
That sounds great, man. That sounds really cool. Talk to me about plans for 2021. I mean, with regards to the channel, Instagram, do you set out goals or that sort of stuff? Do you what sort of your sort of plans for this year?
Yeah, man. So I'm super strategic and like goal oriented, especially when it comes to something I'm passionate about. So the channel initially was just kind of an outlet, you know what I mean? Just to like, let me talk some history about these shoes. But now I'm starting to really realize that it's a whole community of people that are into this sneaker golf thing and like really dig it and like eat and breathe it just like me. So now it's more of like building a community of people across the world that like, really dig the teed up kicks, style and really like delving into sneakers and delving into, growing the game from playing with everybody from every nationality. And the only thing really being exclusive in golf is your sneakers, right? Like that, I love that. So that is where my passion is kind of growing with the channel. And then from the Instagram standpoint, growing that community via there is also important. But I want to get some more quality content out there. I know you've given me some great pointers, which I've taken heed to, and I appreciate that. So you're gonna see more quality content. I'm working on like a sneaker golf course blog. So what that will do is, you've done course vlogs before.
I've done a couple.
Yeah,
I want to do more.
Right. It's because especially when you're a PGA professional, when you're as good as you are, like you don't feel bad about like hitting the ball because you know what you're doing, right?
Dude, the first video, the first one, no, my most recent 9 holes I did a couple of, I can't remember how long ago it was now. Would have been sometime. The most recent course one I did, my first tee shot that I hit on on that hole. I did a 4 hole. I did 4 holes. And the first tee shot I hit on the first hole I played with, I hit 2 iron off the tee, and it was just such a bad swing. I don't know. You can see the ball take off, and it takes off low, and it takes off left, and it's like once you hit it, like I'm not going to go back in there and just peg another one up and hit delete on the last take. I'll let it run. Like I'm not ashamed of playing bad golf. I played bad golf in front of many people. So doing it in front of YouTube is not so funny, but yeah. But yeah, you want to do a few more course bits?
Yeah, man. And I was gonna say, just like you said, and no rush, Sam. We can take our time, man. Like I said, I'm off, so don't feel rushed. We can take our time. But I was gonna say that is so important. What you just said. People need to see the bad shots, right? Because I love Rick Shields. You know what I mean? I love watching Rick Shields. I think he's so cool, and I appreciate the fact that he's starting to, or not starting to. He's always been okay with showing his bad shots.
Yeah,
because that's, golf can be super intimidating when you come into the sport. So if we're really talking about getting more people involved and kind of diversifying it, then we need to show the good and the bad. We need to show like when you tee it up and you shank it all the way right or left, and kind of bring the humility to it and allow people to know, when you start off, you're going to be trash, like Roger Steele says. But
absolutely,
you get lessons and you can get better.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the thing. Like the sport is so hard. It's one of the hardest sports to just go. All right, here's your set, here's a ball, and there's your tee, and you got to get it in that hole that's flipping this wide, all the way down there, and go ahead and do it. And it's so difficult. So yeah, like you say, man, it's important for the people to see the bad ones as well as the good ones, because you're always throughout everyone's entire golfing life, you're going to hit more bad shots than you're going to hit good shots.
But the good ones, but check this out. You'll also remember the good ones more than you will the bad ones. So,
yeah, my massive pet hate is when you play around a golf and you come in after a game of golf and the people that you're playing with only want to talk about that horrendous shot that I hit. I'm like, no, I want to hear about it. Don't tell me your good ones, man. Like, I don't want to hear about your horrendous ones. Like, we've all hit those. Like,
right.
Talk to me about like the 4-iron that you hit from like 190 or whatever that ended up like 5 feet or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, man. So that's where I was going with the golf vlogs, golf sneaker vlogs. It's just kind of, I feel like one of the things that I could some criticism that I actually got from one of my buddies, Mike at A18 Golf, is he told me, he's like, dude, he's like, you do a good job of the historical piece, and I love having friends like you and like him that kind of come to me and like, yo, you're doing good, but like you could like do this, or you know what I mean? Like I'm not one of those people that get offended. So I'm just like, yo, that's what's up. Like I appreciate all the help I can get. So he told me, he's like, yeah, man, it would be so cool to kind of get more of a performance review. I feel like you've done them before, but it's not like when people can feel like you're in the shoe, you're feeling how, you know, the durability is, you're seeing how the traction is, the stability, like with the Air Zoom Infinity Tours. I thought that shoe was amazing when I first saw it, right? Played in it and I liked it. Played in it a couple more times and I started kind of seeing what people were saying about, stability. And then Brooks came out and said what he said. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I kind of felt like I kind of did a disservice initially on reviewing them because I didn't really get that full, you know what I mean, understanding of what how the shoe actually performed. So, yeah, that's definitely something that we'll be seeing more of.
That was I think one of the first videos that I saw of yours. I think because I think the shoe released a little bit ahead of us over here. Over in the States. I think you got it a little bit before us, and I remember watching your video on it. And I was like, man, I've got a pair coming. I always, when I've got a pair of shoes that I want to try out, and I know that they're being released elsewhere prior, I'm like straight onto YouTube. I'm like, I want to someone tell me about these shoes. So I've got a little bit of a leg up when I start. I think that was one of my first videos I saw of yours.
Oh man, yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, that was it's so crazy, man. You shoot so many videos, and then there's certain ones you look and you just remember the time and everything you put into it, and then you watch it and you're like, damn, I should have did this different. I should have did. But that's the beautiful thing about growing a channel, and that's the beautiful thing about growing a brand is that, you know, you're gonna have your missteps and you're gonna learn from them, and that's how you get better. So yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think for me, one of my videos that I wish I'd done a lot better on was the Summer of Golf, the Adidas Code Chaos that I did last.
I enjoyed that though.
Last year, I left that. I edited it, I uploaded it, I watched it, and I was like, just could have done such a better job on really going to town on the details. That video would probably be okay for someone who's looking at buying a Code Chaos pair of shoes, but I didn't really go into a great deal of detail on the history and that sort of stuff. And so for me, that video was a bit of a disappointment for me. But then you like you say, you learn from these things and you make your mistakes, and then hopefully you make the next one better for sure.
Oh yeah, man! It's so funny because I enjoyed that video because I remember that video is what sparked me to actually buy them because I think I missed the release on Adidas. And then I went over to StockX, put in a bid, and I was like, man, I'm not putting in no high bid. Let's see what happens. Put in a bid, hit on them. I said, all right, cool.
Do you do much shopping on StockX? Do you use StockX much?
I'm real strategic with StockX because I know StockX, a lot of products on there are really gouged. Like they do a lot of price gouging. And if you know the market, or even if you just hold it, because without getting too, complicated with shoes are just like the stock market, right?
Yeah, it's commodities, isn't it?
Exactly. So the hype is eventually going to die down. And when it dies down, depending on certain shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not on all shoes. And you have to know the timing. Like right when the shoe releases, that's when usually people are going to be trying to get the most bang for their buck, right? So if you wait about 2 or 3 weeks after that, then typically you're able to kind of catch that low-hanging fruit where people are like, yo, I can't get these off, let me just tell them to just get my difference back. And that's the land of opportunity right there.
Mm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Going back to
cool.
Going back to the golf and doing some more on course videos, that sort of stuff. Do you have a group of guys who you could sort of go out with and they could hold the camera a little bit for you? For me, I know doing course videos, man, carrying around I use like a DSLR, like big old camera.
Yeah.
And to put like a Joby tripod on it, mics on top. It's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I'd love to do this would probably not happen for. Well,
it will happen. You got to claim it, bro. You got to claim it will happen.
But I'd love to have someone walk around with me, and like Rick Shields does, and have someone like film me rather than having me hold the camera. That'd be the dream. Yeah,
that's some professional stuff. Yeah, man. I funny enough, I have a group of my friends that I've known 25 years. My homeboy Sean, Terrence, Janelle, Kevin, Rico. It's a couple guys that we consistently get up and we play. If I didn't mention your name, y'all know who you are. Don't forget. But yeah, I was lucky enough that my homie, my photographer homie that did the pic or the photo shoot this weekend, he golfs too.
Oh, cool.
And he has we got some really cool drone footage that we're kind of working on now. We're going to do something special with. But yeah, he's in between. We're in between shots, and luckily the course wasn't so busy, so we were able to get some really cool shots, like while I was swinging, putting, all kind of different angles and stuff. So I've been blessed to have a friend that likes golf and is like really cool with getting the photos and the video. And like you said, he's got that big camera with the the huge lens.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, let's do it. So I think that was like the best photo shoot I've ever done, because and if my wife, I know my wife's watching, so not ever done, but I got to golf afterwards. I mean, how many photo shoots do you do and you can still go golf?
Yeah, absolutely. How many? You got a lot of images from that day that you're sort of going to release steadily?
Yeah, probably about 50 or 60.
Nice. Man.
Once we edit and see which ones we kind of want to keep. So yeah, it'll be fun to kind of release them sporadically. Like I said, I feel like both of us are really strategic in what we put out. So I'm kind of really strategic with how I put things out, when I put things out, why I put things out. So we'll have some stuff coming up. That'll be really cool.
Sweet. Who do you like to watch on YouTube? Who sort of main? If I was to open up your YouTube homepage now and you're logged in as you, like, whose videos am I seeing?
You'll probably be one of them.
I didn't ask. Just want to preface. I didn't ask for that. Just ask.
No, he didn't. This is not a desperate plug. This is like real, like straight up. I like Jock Slade. Jock Slade Custu. Yeah, he's another inspiration, man. He's a wizard, bro. And he just makes it look so easy. It's effortless. He's just good, man. But I really like watching his stuff too. What's up?
I watched his video on the ZG-21s.
Haven't seen that yet. I was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He did the first look video, and for me to scroll. So my morning routine, like, we're here in lockdown here in the UK. So like my morning routine is I get up whenever and I have coffee. I've got no work to do. Like, I can't do anything. And so, I do some editing and I'll do a little bit of prep for the chats that I'm doing in the evenings and that sort of stuff. And that helps me get through the day. But first thing in the morning is I have my coffee and I sit down and I flick YouTube on the telly and I'm like, right, what's going on? And to see someone like him, who is such an icon in the world of YouTube, sneaker YouTube, for him to be doing, for me, it's fine that he has done in the past the Jordans. Mm-hmm. And he's featured the Jordan ones, but for him to then bring out a complete golf shoe, like a
right.
golf shoe that is a golf shoe that's not had any prior, you know, sneaker release, if you like, trying to think of the best way to put it. But the fact that he's just done a full video on a pair of proper golf shoes, that's so cool for me to see. So cool. But yeah, you go on. So Jack Slay's won.
Yeah, so he's won, but I was chatting with him about the ZG21s?
Yeah.
Because I initially really wasn't a big fan. I kind of felt like they had the dad shoe look, but once Adidas did the marketing for them and I saw them I'm like, yo, they look really good. And I talked with Jock and he was like, yo, they're actually a pretty good shoe. So we'll see as the colorways come out, kind of what I rock with. But Rick Shields, obviously. I also I like New Nine Golf too. He's got some really cool stuff. I like his product reviews, Golf Guy reviews, obviously. This is not non-golf related, but Think Media.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Think Media stuff. They're really, really good.
Yeah, he's really solid. He actually reached out to me and kind of encouraged me after he kind of saw some stuff on the channel. He said something came up in his feed and he's like, yo, I just wanted to reach out and say, keep going. So that was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And then you'll probably find a lot of kid stuff because my 3-year-old has my phone. Probably some Blue's Clues. Probably some, she's just now getting into Peppa Pig. So yeah, you'll probably find that stuff. But yeah, man, that's pretty much. And I look at, I'm like you. I look at, I look at the sneaker reviews, the first looks and stuff. It's just I'm so wrapped into this golf world, man. I'm,
sneaker YouTube for me has been a huge inspiration for me with regards to how I deliver like my content. So watching someone like Blake Linder, for example, whether you like Blake Linder or not, like the cinematography in his videos is like the slow motion B-roll and all that sort of stuff.
It's too good, man.
It's like I look at that and I'm like, how can I make my videos look more like that? That's like a huge influence on me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's so many great YouTubers out there, or shoe-tubers, should we call them?
Yeah.
But I guess for me, I get my inspiration from like small things. So I could see like a post on like, National Geographic that'll show like a waterfall, and I'm like, yo, that'll look dope with a sneaker in front of it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's kind of like, that's kind of why I'm like, I like sneaker YouTube, and I'm extremely partial to it, and I take inspiration from it, but I also kind of just grab stuff from just anywhere,
Yeah, definitely. So, dude, I've taken up a lot of your time. Are you cool with if we ask the guys watching? Because we've got a decent amount of people tuning in this evening. If anyone wants to pop a couple of questions down in the comments box down there,
yeah, and dude, I'm good, man. I'm good until we're not gonna be on this long, but I'm good until 5:30, bro.
but cool. That's a while, man. That's a while.
I'm just joking, Sam.
I've got nothing but bedtime, man. So I'm cool. It's we've got a long time for that. So yeah, man. If anyone wants to put any questions down below, we'll go through and we'll have a little bit of a look. There was a couple early. If I scroll back through,
it might be some of my homies trolling too. Be careful.
There's a lot of people who have been wow, yeah, quite a few.
Because I can't see it. Am I supposed to be able to see?
I don't know. I think sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I know someone earlier wanted me to get the Vice shoes out.
Yeah, you should definitely.
Someone said, hold on, let me do
Shout out to whoever did that, man. That was a good call. He should definitely bring the Vice shoes out.
Because I've also got a couple of pairs of shoes on top of that shoe as well. Hold on. I'm going to knock everything over.
Take your time, man. It was so funny because when you mentioned it, I didn't want to press you, but I was like, dang, I really want to see those shoes.
So we've got these ones.
Oh, it's sick, man.
These things are, these things are beautiful. They are really, really good. Let me
take them back out, Sam. Let me show you something. Take them back out real quick.
Yeah.
So those would go so plush with what I got on right now. Look at that. Oh, sick.
For sure. Sick. These things are, Yeah, as soon as I first saw the first sort of like pictures of them, I thought, God, that's going to be like corduroy.
Yeah,
I was a bit, I don't know, I don't know how I feel about that, but then the ones underneath it.
What you got?
These are just stuff that I've had in my room that I'm just taking pictures.
Oh yeah.
With, so we
I
got
gotta
those
find
ones.
mine, man. I don't even. What's sad? I don't even think I'm playing those, man.
Someone messaged me and said, commented on my YouTube video that I did on them and said, "Do you reckon they're just going to be fine for normal use?"
Yeah.
It's like yeah, like the sole's kind of big, but this is. I still actually got the original box that they got sent in as well. So let's dig these out.
Yeah, Vice. Although I hate how they released them on their website, I have nothing but love for Vice. I love their packaging. Everything they do it on a top tier level outside of their release. But yeah, man, so good. Look at
let me put this box down. Also, man, the balls that came with it. I mean, these are just some of the coolest things. If you hit them with a blue light,
oh yeah, because they got they glow in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So these things with like the Adidas logo is just insane. Hold on.
What's the resale on them right now, man? I need to check that out.
They dipped a lot. They dipped to like the highest bid I think in my size is about £290.
Well, and you're a 9 like me, right?
10.
10.
So I'm a US. I'm a 10 in Adidas. No, US. I'm an 11. No.
Oh, okay.
US, I'm a 10.5 Adidas, and no, I'm a US 10.5.
Okay.
So because Adidas and Nike sizing is different, isn't it?
Don't correct it. I like the Nike, man. I like that. Yeah.
No one likes the Nike. Like talking to people on YouTube are like, no one likes the Nike.
Well, I think a lot of people in YouTube fail to realize that most things that we pronounce in our American way are incorrect anyway.
So. Blue light.
Oh man, this man pulled out the blue light.
Don't know if it shows up on there or not. Under this light, it's probably not great.
Yeah, you probably had to cut that light, but I can see it a little bit. That's cool, man.
I'm going to go dark in a second.
See
what this is like. I did not expect to be doing this.
Uncle Nearest. I got to shout out Uncle Nearest, man. This is like my favorite little whiskey. Sorry.
Look at that.
Oh, that's so cool, man. That is rad. You better not play in those, man.
Oh man. I lose too many golf balls, man. I'm not playing. I'm not playing those.
That's like a Pro V1 signed by like Tiger or something. Even though he would only sign Bridgestones, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. These things are so cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, which ball did they use? Because I know they have the different balls. Did they use the Tour Pro?
The Pro.
Yeah, that's a good ball. Yeah,
I've never used them. I've never used a Vice ball. Like being a PGA Pro over here, it's like. We get looked after by Titleist really well, and so for like every year I'll have like 8 dozen balls sort of given to me, which it kind of I'm like if I'm going to get golf balls for nothing, which is a nice position to be in, then like I wouldn't tend to go out and get some other balls. But here are the shoes. The shoes are. I'm so glad they put this outsole on.
Looks
Same
so
outsole
good
on the Addy Cross.
So here's the beautiful thing about this shoe, right? And I said it on my Adidas First Look. This shoe is basically the Ultra Boost Golf that we're getting this year.
Yeah,
it's essentially exactly that, just in a really rad colorway. So that is so cool, man. Let me see let us see the sole, like how the sole looks. No, the sole like on the inside, like the the Vice on the end. Oh man, that is sick.
So do you know what? Like I probably won't ever play in them. I know that's
you're not playing in those.
There's going to be someone who's watching who's going to be like, "Oh, come on, man! You can't buy your shoes and not wear them." But
some stuff is collective. It's just like a collector.
Yeah. That's one of those ones where I'll look back in years' time and be like, "I'm so glad I had that shoe." And like what 1,000 pairs made.
Yeah.
Someone tried telling me that it wasn't 1,000 and that it was like 1,500, but they're wrong. So
no, it's 1,000. Now here's the thing. I don't know if it was like 1,000 retail, and then like, you know, a couple other pairs made for like, you know, employees or like, you know, influencers, etc. But yeah, if it's 1,000 in general, which I could, with Vice and I could see them doing that. That's sick, man. That's you gotta hold on to that, man.
So one of the questions we've got from Early Boys Golf Club is
my man
is what each of your favorite golf collectible? What's each of your favorite golf collectible? I'm gonna guess that's probably shoes, right?
Yeah, I think he's saying what are each of our favorite golf collectible sneakers?
Right.
Okay, so
go on. You kick us off, man.
Who, me?
Yeah, you
I thought you said like I kicked. Oh, I got it. Okay. So the Jordan Chicago 1. I haven't flexed in that shoe yet, but
you've got that as a golf shoe.
I've got it as a golf shoe. It's not, and it's crazy because it's at my parents' house, and my dad is like, "Yo, when are you gonna like get this shoe?" Like, because let me tell you about my dad. My dad has this habit of, because like I said, I have so many shoes, I have to keep them in different places, right?
Right.
Just to not, you know, build up clutter here. But my dad sold he sold 2 coveted shoes. He sold a pair of my Jordan 4 Metallics. It's basically all white leather, and it's like that good buttery leather, and it had the chrome accents and the chrome Jumpman on the back. They came out in 99. Wow. And they just did a re-release back in 2018 or 2019. But he sold a pair of those at like a garage sale for like $40. And they were in dead stock condition. So when he tells me I need to come get a shoe, I need to come get it. Because they have like so that was a really tough week for me after he did that. But yeah, I've got the Chicago ones. So I definitely feel like a shoot should be coming on for those soon.
So we've got Longstaff 240 asks, what's y'all's opinion on the Air Max 90's poor quality?
Ooh, yo, dang. So hold on, Sam. We got to go back. Did you mention your collectible?
Oh,
would it be the Vice Golf?
So my collectible, my favorite piece I have a Sergio Garcia pair of Adidas Tour 360s, which not his shoe. They were there was 150 pairs made for the celebration of him 20 years on from the Medina, the PGA. So 2019. Mm-hmm. It's got like sample tag, all that sort of stuff on it. So yeah, that probably the Vice, and then I've got a Ryder Cup pair of the gold Tour 360s as well. Like the guys, I was supposed to say it earlier when you mentioned Adidas and how good the guys are over there. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't speak highly enough of anyone I've spoken to, had any dealings with at Adidas, because part of the reason why my channel is where it is now, and I'm in the position I'm in now, is because of the love that they showed me, certainly like early on. So they got in touch when I had sort of probably, I think I'd had 1,200 followers on Instagram, and I probably had like coming up to 1,000. Well, I probably had 800 subscribers, something like that. And they reached out and they sent me the first shoe they ever sent was a knit Tour 360, and it came in it was the limited edition Blue Boost pair, and it came in a really nice presentation box. It had a hat with it, and the note said, "Congratulations on my engagement. All the best from everyone at Adidas Golf." Nice. And like for me, that was since then it's I ride really hard for the guys at Adidas. Like they've looked after me a great deal. They're some really really cool people. Very cool
man.
People.
Like I said, that is so cool. Like, and like I said, everybody that I came in contact with at Adidas, specifically Matt, marketing, Nothing but great people, man. So, cheers to them, man. And cheers to that. Yeah, that Garcia pair sounds sick.
Yeah,
is it like a mainly black shoe? What color?
No, so it's an all white shoe. It's got some blue accents on it, and it's just got Sergio Garcia's logo on the heel. So that's a pair. They're in my garage. They're in a box. They don't get touched.
Okay. I was gonna say you hadn't worn them, right?
No, so they actually only ever made them in his size as well. So he's a size 10 UK, which will be what 10.5 US.
Yeah.
And so for me, they're like a half size too big, and plus, so Dan over here in the UK is the guy who looks after sort of the. I hate to use the word influencer side of things, but I hate that. But he looks after the marketing side of things here, and he gave them to me. And he was like,
I used that word earlier. And I was like, ugh. But
it is what it is. But he gave me the pair, and he was like, man, if you ever play golf in these, like we won't be friends anymore if you play golf in these shoes. So I have them. But yeah, talk to me about the Air Max 90s, man. So. What's your take on them first off? Because I know my take, but I want to hear you first.
So my take is Nike was kind of lazy with them. I obviously see this is where Nike is getting, and yes, this is a call out, but it's not rude or anything. Just being real. Mm-hmm. This is where Nike is messing up. They are taking, and I think we've had this conversation. Yeah. They're basically taking silhouettes of coveted sneakers and just saying, hey, let's just make them golf, which is cool. Yeah. But it's like, yo, give us the real tooling. Give us like what we need out there. But it's a double-edged sword because what's happening is they're realizing people are going to buy them either way. So why deck them out with all this performance and gear when you still going to have people buying them just because, you know? So that's really where it kind of comes to. So in my opinion, I like the 90s, the golf. I really wish they would have did more of like the Zoom Air, kind of like how they did back in, what was that, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, a while back.
The only drawback on that pair was the sock liner was kind of weird. It didn't bother me, but I know friends that had them that it really irritated them. Right. But the shoe was perfect otherwise. It was light. It was waterproof. It was spikeless. So to kind of give Nike a little cred is that I think when they came out with those were so good. And I think a lot of the guys that were into golf and into sneakers at the time really appreciate them like us. But I think that there's a whole vast new lineup of people that don't even know about that, right? So Nike feels like they don't have any obligation to really like bring us that same quality back because they're just like, shoot, we're just trying to grow the game by just coming out with coveted silhouettes and just doing it that way, you know?
Yeah.
So I really think it's a lazy attempt, but I still think they're clean. I think shout out to Function 8. I think Function 8 said they were going to Function 18 was going to bring our semi pair infrared. So looking forward to that, man. Yeah, looking forward to that. But I think that they'll be good for the range. That's it. Yeah, I probably wouldn't wear them on the course just because I don't really feel like, you know, like what you just showed us with the Ultra Boost Vice collab. That spikeless vibe is a little bit more consistent and it's a little bit more grippable, you know?
Yeah.
The 90s are very, 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 very close to just the regular sneaker as far as grip. So, yeah.
For me, my take on them is you'll never see me with a pair of those on my channel or on my Instagram ever, because like I made a video of it a few months back about our Nike playing us, and you know it's the laziest of shoes for me for them to bring out. Like the materials don't even look all that premium. Like the materials are not great. It looks plasticky. It looks cheap. And then for them to go and put like an outsole that they did on it, where the outsole is, as you say, so close to just a regular pair of Air Max that you could quite easily wear those off the golf course. This is the main saying that everyone loves, the off the golf course at the moment. I Like, I wear my golf shoes on the golf course. Like,
Right.
I don't need them to be really good. I've got no problem changing in the car park or the changing room. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't need to wear them. I don't need to wear them to the course. Like, I can wear them while I'm out there. So I just think for me, like I'm a big fan of what Nike do, and the fact that we've got this pair that these Victory Tour 2s that are going to be coming out soon. That seem to be the Rory shoe. So, you know, for me, like that's Nike doing golf. Like, I want Nike to do golf. I don't want Nike to do, we've released so many incredible trainer sneaker silhouettes in the past. Let's just put a slightly grippier outsole on the bottom and make them a little bit better for golf, and then put them out there. I want them to do golf. Like, I understand that there's a place for both, but it just gets me a little triggered, man. I wish they did more for just the golf, and the Victory Tour 2 hopefully will do that.
And that's funny because the Victory Tour 2, when I saw them in the catalog, the 21 catalog initially, I was just not a fan. I thought they were really trash. I hated them.
I watched your video, and so that's how I saw them for the first time. And I saw you go through the image. I was like, what? Like, they looked awful. But seeing them on feet, seeing them in person, seeing Rory wearing them,
much better.
You're like, okay, that looks like with the lime color, the sort of Volt colorway as well to it. I'm a big Volt guy.
So you said you're not a Volt guy?
No, I'm a big Volt guy.
Big Volt guy. Anytime Nike puts Volt on anything, it's gonna sell. So I'm interested to see how these Tour 2s will do, and I'm glad that they didn't look anything like the design photos, because I was really getting nervous. I think one of the founding Nike golf members, N-Spear2, I think his name is, at N-Spear2. Right. He's a huge sneakerhead, huge Nike guy. He's got a cool podcast that he's releasing. Anyway, we were talking in the DMs, and he asked me my thoughts on those, and I told him, I was like, dude, based on the design photos, I'm not with them. But he told me, he's like, they're gonna look good in person, and he was right, because once I saw him on Rory, I was like, okay, I like him.
Another question we've got from Bar. I think I'm just gonna say it wrong. It's gonna be. I think it's Barzaraz.
Oh, 359.
Have I said that right?
Yep.
He says, what Jordan 1 low colorway do you think they need to make golf? What's your Jordan 1 low take? Are you a no to the lows? Like, I know lows get like a little bit of heat over there in the US and a little bit over here.
So the lows, it's not really the lows that get heat, it's the mids.
Mids are popping at the minute, though. Like, mids are popular.
You know why? Because I've never had a hate or disdain for any of them. Mids, lows, highs. I love them all, right? But people always said that the mids were like a wannabe version of the highs. Mm-hmm. But the mids have so many great colorways. Mm. And there are people that will argue you up and down and say that because it doesn't have Nike Air on the tongue, it's not clean, it doesn't look good, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I really love the lows. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, can I grab a pair?
You can grab a pair of lows. Yeah,
I'm gonna grab a pair.
Dude, you can do what you want, man. You're in this as well. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna just go downstairs and grab them real quick. But yeah, to answer homie's question, like, the Jordan 1 low golf would be dope. Now, I would love to see them do, like, maybe even if they did like a Jordan 1 golf SB that had like the Zoom Air insole, that would be sick. That would just kill it. I'm gonna go grab them real quick. I'll be right back.
Definitely, man.
All right.
Just take this little break, guys, just to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. This has been a really cool chat. We've gone a good amount of time, so I appreciate each and every one of you for sticking with us, and I hope you're finding it interesting. It's certainly really, really interesting to talk to Chris and hear his take on all things golf, all things sneaker, all of that stuff. Like, I love all this stuff as well. So this is really, really cool. Hopefully, when this virus stuff passes and we can eventually get on a plane again and do a bit of traveling, then I'm certainly going to be popping along to the ATL and having a game of golf for sure. So yeah, I appreciate everyone for tuning in this evening. It's tuning into these lives. It does really mean a lot. Light smoke greys are. I've got smoke grey highs. They're up there somewhere. I'm gonna get those to you very quickly. These are the boys right here. These are.
Oh man.
Sorry, man. Someone mentioned light smoke grey, so I was like, actually, these aren't light smoke grey. These are just smoke grey. These things are. I love these so much.
They did so good with those, man.
I've only worn them once.
I gotta go hunt down my pair. They did so good so to me, I'm a real big fan of like keeping that OG colorway. So even if you can just grab some red and black and then kind of spice it up. I like how they threw the gray in there. The gray in there with a little bit of nubuck. Perfect. So I grabbed two actually. So I grabbed the lows.
Yeah.
So I would love to see them kind of do something like this. Maybe put some spikes on there. That'd be fly. Give us a Zoom Air packet. And then just for kicks and giggles, just to show you how much I like the bread colorway on these. And it's funny because Jock Slade has been posting these a lot. The Flyknit ones. So those are pretty class and pretty clutch too. Matter of fact, the last time I wore these, I was out there by you, man. I was in Paris.
Oh, and lovely, man.
They're a great shoe to travel with because you don't have to worry about them getting creased because they're Flyknit. So, yeah, man. That's what was really cool about them.
That was one of those. I don't feel like the Flyknit version went down all that well, and I seem to remember them sitting on shelves for a little bit.
I caught these for like $70.
Oh wow! What do they go?
About that.
What's the market on them now? I haven't checked much recently.
I haven't either. I probably should look just for kicks and giggles, but it's essentially, if you're a ones person, if you like ones, it's essentially the best one you could buy because you don't have to worry about it creasing. It's breathable, it's comfortable, and if you need to clean it, it's Flyknit, so you know how that is. So it's actually a really clutch pair.
Nice, man. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to see a sneaker video, a collection video from you, man. I'm gonna be waiting for that on the channel. I'm gonna be waking up all these lockdown mornings, like hoping that's gonna be the video.
Don't put that pressure on me, man. I told you, don't put that pressure on me because my thing is, it's there. It's just a matter of getting it all.
Yes, all situated, man. Yeah,
and I'm a real. It's all about presentation for me. So if I'm gonna show you my sneaker collection world, we need to make sure it's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, man. Well, dude, I've taken up enough of your time. I really appreciate you coming on this evening. It's been really, really cool. Really cool to talk. All things golf, all things sneakers, everything in that world for me it's been really, really cool. I really appreciate you coming on.
Most definitely, man. It's been a pleasure, Sam. I appreciate you having me, and I'm sure we'll do some stuff in the future, man.
Darren, when you were downstairs grabbing those shoes, I said to the guys, like, when all the people watching, when the sort of world opens up again and we can get on a plane and stuff, then this is the cool thing about getting into the world that we're in, and I love the fact that you reference sort of it as being a community, and for me that's really, really cool because I need to jump on a plane. There's people I need to see in New York. There's people I need to see in all sorts of places. So I'm going to be, when the world opens up and I can afford to take a little bit of time off, then I'm going to be doing some sort of road trip and hitting
world
up
tour.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be vlogging the whole thing as well. So I'll be vlogging from the moment I leave my house to the moment I get back. So it's going to be course vlogs. It's going to be all sorts. It might be one flipping home cinema movie experience. So
hey, man, I'm all for it, dog. Because like I said, man, we had big plans for 2020, and 2020 was an interesting year to say the least. But I'm with you, man. Vlog that shit.
Absolutely. So
that content, people need to see that, and it's so important and so necessary. because there's a stigma around golf that, has to be bland and boring. And, it's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the best sports and best hobbies that I've ever gotten into, like ever really truly delved into, and really saw an imitation of life in, because in golf you have your good days, you have your bad, just like with life. So you have to keep pressing forward, man. But I appreciate you having me, bro. And again, man, I don't want to take up too much time. I told you I was free for a while, so like I said, man, I appreciate it.
So, man, look, keep up the good work. Like I will be, I'll be watching in and liking the pictures and that sort of stuff. So yeah, man, keep killing it. And yeah, man, I look forward to chatting sometime again soon. I'm off for another. Our lockdown's just been extended into the 8th of March at the earliest here in the UK. So yeah, I've got quite a few more weeks of this of these doing these lockdown chats. So we'll get you back on in a couple of weeks' time for sure.
Oh, respect, man, respect. Just curious, man. So and I love that about UK, right? Like, y'all don't play about the pandemic and doing what needs to be done to get these numbers down. So what do you like? I know you kind of told me what your morning looks like. So I mean, man, like, what do you do to manage? Because are you married? You're married, or you have?
So I live with my fiance. So we were supposed to get married on the 27th of June last year. So that obviously got cancelled. Right. We're then supposed to get married on the 31st of May this year. Mm-hmm. But because of everything being pushed back, it's starting to look less and less likely that's going to happen. So we're now sort of juggling do we try and go ahead with it only being sort of maybe like 15 people or 6 people or however, do we like try and go ahead, or do we move it or what? So yeah, for me, man, just managing my time is my sister said to me the other day, she said, you need to do a day in the life of during lockdown, because but then like my day's boring. So I get up in the morning, and then like my partner's been Jen's been at work for quite a bit of this. Mm-hmm. She hasn't had too many sort of days from home and stuff, so it's just me on my own at home most of the time. So one of the motivations for me starting these lives was my mental health. So I struggle. I normally would say I'm a pretty mentally strong person. Like I don't like to let things affect me too much, and like I grin and bear it, and I get on with it, and it is what it is. But the first couple of weeks of this lockdown for us over Christmas and just coming after Christmas, I found difficult. Like I wasn't very happy, and I was. It got to me a little bit. So one of the reasons for starting these lives and trying to get people on for a chat is to, just for me to have something to look forward to and have something to prep for. And I think it's been great for me to I'm constantly looking at who can I get on for a chat, and everyone who I've had on for a chat has been awesome. Like it's been so cool to get to know a lot of the people that obviously I like their pictures, and I watch people's YouTube videos, and I do all that stuff, and to be able to obviously speaking in person like this is very different to just a few DMs here or there, and it's one of those things that it's definitely helped me through the last couple of weeks. And so my day in the life of would be I get up in the morning, I have a coffee, and I'll chill out for a bit. I'll go and walk to the coffee shop, and I'll grab a coffee and walk back, and I'll do a little bit of editing here or there, or I might shoot a video for something and get to the evening time, and that's about it. So my sister said a day in the life. I might have to do a day in the life of and try and make it a little bit jazzier than the sort of normal boring day that I've been having. But yeah, we'll see. That video might come.
I think that would be really cool. And then the mental health aspect of it too is so important, man. Because like you said, man, I can only imagine. I mean, even with us and being in the house and how we've had to kind of change our lifestyle, working from home.
Yeah.
It's been an adjustment, man. It's been a huge adjustment because I'm one of those people, like I love being around people. I love being out. I love, getting out, having a good time. So kind of being restricted in a way does affect me both mentally and socially. So I respect and I love the platform you have here. And I think what was the first episode you did? I remember Chris Collick. Oh man,
Chris was my first one.
Chris, yeah.
So Chris was the first one.
Funny story. I was actually working from home that day, and my wife was like, she was like, "Yo, I want some Jamaican food. Like, I need it. Like, when I get off, I need you to have it for me." I was like, "All right, I got you." So on the way to the restaurant, I got y'all pulled up. I got the video off to the side, listening through the Bluetooth, and I was like, "Yo, this is just so cool," because a lot of people, you see these personalities and you see these innovators on Instagram all the time, and you kind of like, dang, I wonder how they're like in person. Like, I wonder how they speak and what their personality is like. So this platform is just really cool for people to not only, from a mental health aspect for yourself and your guests, but just for people in general to kind of see the social interaction between people and two different stretches of life it's so necessary and needed, man. So, I really appreciate the invite, but more importantly, the idea and the brain behind this is so cool.
No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, the feedback that I've had from a lot of people messaging afterwards, and someone said to me a couple of weeks ago that the lives were something that got them through the week, gave them something to look forward to and stuff like that. And that means like you'll hear people on YouTube, and you'll hear people say it on Instagram and stuff, that things mean a lot to them and that sort of thing. And it can be cliched in a way, but when someone says something like that in a direct message, it does mean a lot. It's cool, and that's one of the cool things. Talking to Golf Hipster a little bit about this, and the fact that we can have such a positive impact on people's lives through this, and it's not just product reviews. It's not just opinions on shoes and clothing and that sort of thing. It's a lot more than that. It brings people a lot more than that. So yeah, these chats have been really cool, and I appreciate each and every person I've had on so far. And obviously, you've been the latest one, and I've got a cool week lined up next week. So
yeah, man. So you got Golf Guy Reviews.
So I've got Golf Guy Reviews. I've got Guilty of Golf as well. So I've got a girl called Lauren Prince coming on.
Oh, sweet.
So,
okay, cool.
My first female coming on for a chat, which is going to be really, really cool to hear her perspective on fashion and the game of golf and getting into golf and what it's like from a female perspective. I'm hoping to have a few more girls come on for a few more women, should I say, come on for some chats in the next couple of weeks and just get their perspective, because they're growing in the game. They're really, the girls on Instagram most of them do a fantastic job of really sort of portraying their journey in the game of golf and getting into it, and they do a great job of it. So just want to hear their story really firsthand. So that's kind of the plan.
It's necessary to normalize, because I think for a lot of people, they look at golf as just like this male sport, and you know what I mean. But it's for everybody. It's for us. It's for women. It's for kids. It's for everybody. So it's very important that people understand that. And so I think that would be really cool. So
that's inclusion is huge. Inclusion of gender, race, size, shape, like whatever. Like golf is such a great sport from so many perspectives. It's great socially. It's great. It teaches you manners. It teaches you integrity. It teaches you so many incredible life skills that not a lot of sports do. And so getting people together to play the game and hearing from a lot of different people is as you say, man, necessary. Definitely.
Yes sir. That's what's up, man.
So, but on that really emotional finish, I'll wrap it up here. So, guys, if anyone's watching and they've not managed to catch the whole chat, I'm going to upload it to my homepage on Instagram now, and then probably in about a week or so, maybe a little bit less than that, will get uploaded to YouTube, and so it'll be up there for all of eternity if you've missed anything. So yeah, once again, a big thank you to everyone who's watched this evening, everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's finding these lines interesting. As I've said, as cliche as it is, it does mean a lot. And again, Chris, thank you to you, man. Your time has been very much appreciated, and your knowledge has been also very much appreciated. And keep smashing it. Keep doing what you're doing. The channel, I love don't stray away from the history side of things, man, because I find that very educational. So yeah, just keep killing it, and I look forward to seeing more in the future. And then game of golf, man. We'll have a game of golf at some point.
Likewise, brother. Keep smashing it. And send me over this. I'll post it too, bro. I'll send you my email so you can just send it to the email. However we want to do it. If you need to Google Drive it or whatever. I might have
to WeTransfer or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. We'll make it work.
All right,
later.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt,
Take
bro.
care. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Later.